Hi everyone, and my name is Cara and I'm an English teacher here on Facebook and YouTube, so wherever you are watching. I am from Australia and I would love to know where you are from, so please write in the comments, where are you from? Today, depending on where you live, we have a lesson for you which is really just tips on how to improve your speaking. And many students ask me, teacher, how can I improve my speaking skills? Is this you? Hi Maria. So everyone, tell me where you are from if you're watching. I can see we've got a few people on YouTube and a few people here on Facebook, so that's great. I hope you're having a good week and you're enjoying all of my videos. So I'm doing a video every day for 30 days, and this is day 9. So if you want to see the other videos, they're also on YouTube and Facebook, but at the end of this lesson I will share a link where you can see everything all together, as well as all the homework and the answers. I forget how to say your name. Javelinha? Are you from Brazil, I think? And Maria, you're from Portugal. 2 Portuguese speakers. And on YouTube, they're a bit shy. Oh, from Egypt. Great. We've got a very multicultural class today. So, this is the topic of today's class, and it was a special request from Rashmi. So I really hope Rashmi is here. Maybe I'm just going to invite her on my phone, and if you want to share the video with your friends or in a Facebook group, I can't, then now is a really good time to do that. So I hope Rashmi comes. It also really helps me if you can share the video, tell your friends, encourage them to watch it. Okay. So, 7 super strategies to improve your speaking skills. And yesterday I taught 7 phrasal verbs. And I like to always teach 7 things because your short-term memory can only remember about 5 to 7 things. So it's always good to learn things in groups of 5 to 7. Okay, so let's go to tip number 1. And this one you need to be very, very honest. Could you change your attitude? Now, what I find is students that improve quickly are students that don't worry about making mistakes. So there are 2 kinds of students. Students who always want to say everything correctly and always do their grammar homework, always do their writing and their reading. But speaking is more difficult because they like to be perfect. And when you're learning to speak a language, you're not perfect. So the students that don't care, maybe they don't even do all their grammar homework and they don't do all their reading, but they can improve their speaking quickly because they don't care. They can feel uncomfortable and nervous and They think they sound silly, but they don't care. They just try. Okay, so which student are you? Do you want to be perfect, or do you just try? Okay, so that's the first thing. Then the other thing is make time and be consistent. So if you practice speaking for 8 hours on one day and then you don't practice for 2 weeks, you won't improve. But if you practice 1 hour every day for 2 weeks, you will improve. You need to be consistent. Maybe not every day, but at least every second day. You need to be thinking about English and speaking or listening as often as possible. So for this tip, you have to think about yourself. Okay, do I need to relax and make mistakes? And that way you will improve your English faster. Do I need to practice English more often, more consistently? So tip number 1 is about you and your attitude. Okay, tip number 2, find a language partner. So of course it's best if this person is near you, lives near you, and you can practice with. But it's not always easy to find someone you can practice with. But welcome to the internet. And on the internet, there are millions and millions and millions of people who all want to practice a language. So there's many websites where you can find people that want to learn your language. And maybe you can practice with them. It's better to practice English, I think, with somebody that speaks a different language to you. So it doesn't have to be a native English speaker. Of course, there are benefits of practicing with a native English speaker. But the best way to improve your English is just to practice. And if you can practice with someone that speaks a different language, so maybe Arabic and Portuguese. Hi Bibo, good to see you. And we've got someone else from Brazil. So we have, I don't know where you're from, Bibo, but we have a Portuguese speaker here and an Arabic speaker. So you could practice together because English is your common language. So if you really want to improve, the best way is to find someone you can talk to. It's not easy, I know. I am currently setting up a website where you will be able to do this. So you will be able to have a video chat with people who also want to practice their English, and then there will be a teacher there to give you some suggestions. So you'll be in small groups. So if this interests you, then keep following my videos and the Number One Institute Facebook page, and you will hear all about it very soon. Another one from Brazil. Gee, that's interesting, and I love Brazil, so it's very exciting for me. Okay. Tip number 3, have a conversation in your head. So don't say anything and don't talk to anyone. It's better, but this is a good tip, especially if you are the shy student, the student that doesn't want to make mistakes. This is a good one for you before you start practicing. Can you hear? I think we're having a storm. I think I can hear thunder. Let me know if you can hear. Wow, someone else from Brazil. So Jose on YouTube says, I think English is very difficult to speak with a native speaker. Oh, hi Rashmi, I'm glad you found us. Yes, why do you think so, Jose? I think people feel nervous, maybe, or a native speaker speaks fast, or they use slang. I think always try, and if you're friendly and you're giving it a good shot, then most native speakers will try to understand you. But it's still good if you can practice English with someone from anywhere in the world. English is that international language, so most English speakers are not native English speakers. So we need to understand everybody because it's the international language. I need to understand people with the German accent and the Chinese accent and the Brazilian accent. So it's important that we talk to people from everywhere in the world, not just native speakers. Okay, so back to having the conversation in your head. This is good because you can do it anywhere. You can do it on the train, you can do it in the shower, you can do it in class. If you have some time, then you can just sit and imagine a conversation in your head. This is good for practicing for when you do have a real conversation with someone. So the example on this slide is just a friendly conversation. I'm great. Do you want to go to a movie tomorrow? Just imagining a situation and then just practice it in your head. You're two people. Okay, does that make sense? It's very safe. You don't say anything. No one tells you you're right or wrong. It's just practicing thinking in English. Okay, if you do this often, you shouldn't need to translate from your language into English. Jose, well, if you practice every day and you follow these tips, you might speak English fluently one day. Okay, next tip, a bit different. Talk to the mirror or record yourself. Now, talking in your head is good because you can do it anywhere. But it's also important that you hear yourself speak English. If you don't have a language partner or someone to practice with, sometimes when you do have to speak English, maybe in class or you meet a tourist or for some reason you must speak English and you know words, you've got vocabulary, you've studied the grammar, and then you speak and you're like, oh, I've never heard myself speak, and I feel uncomfortable, or it's a shock. So it's important that you have a chance to hear yourself speak. And if you never have the chance, then it will be really hard when you do have to. If you speak English every day at school or with some friends, it's okay. But if you have no one, then I recommend you speak to the mirror so you can see yourself, or just speak by yourself, and you can use your phone to record yourself. And this is good for two reasons. First, you can play it back immediately and try to say, oh, I could have said this better, or I should have said this, or this word is okay but this word is better, and you can teach yourself. Okay, it's also really good if maybe 1 month later you listen again and wow, I was terrible. Now I can see that I'm improving, and that's good motivation. So Abdul Mullah, sorry for my pronunciation, says, yeah, it's been a while since I have done it, but it's useful. Yeah, recording yourself is very useful. I have a friend who was learning Mandarin, so Chinese, and every day she recorded herself from when she was a beginner, and she just said words, and then gradually she just maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes every day, and she started to say sentences. Oh, today I went to school, or I caught a taxi, and then the next day and the next day, and then eventually after 2 years her Mandarin was amazing. But it was really interesting to listen to how she improved, and she also got to feel herself speaking aloud, just to herself, but she got much more comfortable using the words. Okay, so this is a good tip. Jose understands everything I'm saying. Excellent, I'm so glad. And Edmilton, also from Brazil. Are you from Brazil? This is crazy. And good morning. And here in Australia it is evening. Okay, so tip number 5. Try to sound like a real native speaker. This one can be quite fun. So many American movies, British movies, Australian movies, lots and lots of people on YouTube. I'm sure there is somebody that you like, or you like how they speak. So listen to them and copy them. So you can find someone that you think you just like their accent. Maybe it's the Australian accent like me, or you like Harry Potter and that kind of British accent. And on YouTube, just take a small clip and try to copy them. So play what they say and then repeat and repeat and repeat. And this way you can learn to sound like someone that you like. And it's a fun way to learn to improve your pronunciation. And with pronunciation also the rhythm of the language, the music of the language. So some students, if I read this sentence, I would say, try to sound like a real native speaker. So this is like a robot, because I'm focusing on each word. But if you start to copy native speakers or someone you like, they would say, try to sound like a real native speaker. And then you can get used to how the language flows, which is really important. It helps native speakers to understand you, and it stresses the important words in the sentence and makes you sound natural. Okay, Jose, true. So my accent is a little bit of an English teacher accent, okay, because I've taught English in many different countries. And I am teaching live, and so I can't put subtitles, so I really want you to understand. So I am extra clear when I speak. And I speak quite clearly anyway with my friends. But to you, extra clear, because I can't put subtitles when it's live. But other native speakers, yeah, they will speak faster, they will connect the words, they won't open their mouth. So it's great to learn English from me because you can understand, and that's really good practice. But also listen to other native speakers so that you can understand a variety of accents. And also listen to non-native speakers, because we need to understand everyone. Thank you, Bibo. You are a nice student. I'm so glad, so happy you can all understand me. That's great. Okay. Our tip number 6, read out loud. And this is a little bit similar to practicing and recording yourself. The reason is that you want to be able to hear your voice. You want to know what you sound like when you speak English. You know what you sound like when you speak your language. You know your voice. But you want to get used to hearing and feeling yourself speak English. So reading aloud is an easy way. You don't have to think of the grammar and the vocabulary. You can just read something regularly. So this is a good idea of something you can do for 1 minute every day. And it's good for your pronunciation. Of course, it might be good for your vocabulary too, because you'll be learning new words. All right. Our final tip, also fun, is to sing. Now, I don't know if you know, but every language uses different muscles in your mouth. And if you start speaking another language a lot, your mouth will get sore and tired. Some students that I have had in Australia, they would say that suddenly they are speaking English all the time and their mouth is getting very sore. So your mouth is not used to speaking English. Singing is great for pronunciation, for vocabulary, often grammar, and it's obviously a fun way to learn a language. And it helps with the muscles and forming English words. So of course, who doesn't want to sing? And we have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of songs. Doesn't matter what kind of music you like. I'm sure you can find something that you can sing along to. If you already do this, please tell me what are your favorite songs to sing in English. Okay, so like I said in the beginning, to go back, this lesson is because Rashmi asked me, please can you do some tips on how to learn English? If there is something that you would like me to teach tomorrow or the next day, then please let me know in the comments. So every day I am teaching something different, and I have some homework, little bit of homework every day. So I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try to copy these links into the comments. See if it works. So this link will take you to, I think it worked. All the videos I have on speaking on YouTube. So I have 13 videos to improve your speaking, and there are lots of real conversations there. And then this link will take you to the second one, the website Number One Institute, where I have all the lessons for today, including the 7 tips, 7 super strategies of improving your English. Okay. And then finally, we need to do the homework from yesterday. So, did anybody come to yesterday's class on phrasal verbs? I don't know if we have anyone live, but yesterday I taught 7 phrasal verbs about the coronavirus. So phrasal verbs that you can use right now. So I'm just going to go through the answers for you. So Yuri on YouTube has asked for a lesson on ed and ing adjectives, and that, Yuri, is very easy for me to teach, so no problem. Actually, tomorrow I was planning to teach a lesson on extreme adjectives, so let's do ed ing adjectives. I don't think I do. Let's do that Tuesday. What day is it? Monday. Tuesday. Let's do it on Wednesday, Yuri. So Wednesday I will do this lesson for you. Make sure you'll come. And tomorrow you might want to come too, because I'm doing extreme adjectives. Okay. Now let's go through the phrasal verbs that I taught yesterday. It's a bit bigger. Okay. So the coronavirus is having a huge impact around the world. While it is easy enough to, I know Mustafa, he knew the answer to this, to shake off. The common cold, this virus is much more serious for some people. It's important we look after these people by preventing the spread. The best thing to do is to, what was it? I just want to make sure I put the same answer. It's more than one correct answer here. If anybody remembers, there we go. That's right. So you're welcome, Yuri. Steer clear of. That's the one I wanted. Steer clear of, which means to avoid the virus by minimizing your interactions with other people. It's not easy, but if we work together, we will get through it. Okay, so if you missed this lesson on phrasal verbs that I did yesterday, you'll be able to find it on YouTube, on Facebook, but also really easily on this website that I put in the links. Thank you everyone very much for watching and for your feedback. It's very kind. I hope to see you again tomorrow when we do extreme adjectives, and Wednesday when we do the difference between bored and boring. Have a great